Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, and welcome to the Sports Podcast. I am Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always,
Phil Ranta, the Sports Outsider.
No need for a dramatic pause.
I don't know anything about sports. That's why they call me the Sports
I could
Outsider.
have been choking, guys. That might not have been a dramatic pause.
You didn't turn blue, Joel.
Well, not that quickly, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Say, Phil,
Yeah.
around this time of year, people often fill out March Madness brackets. Have you found yourself swept up into the madness?
I filled out a bracket or two.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who do you have winning it all?
Michigan.
Really?
Okay.
I had Michigan
Really?
winning it.
In all your
I
brackets?
went to Michigan.
No, I understand. We went there, too. I just,
Yep.
that's a
So
bizarre.
I chose them to win.
All right, that's a bold choice.
Why not?
That's
It's
a
the
healthy
90s.
attitude to have.
Come on.
The 90s?
It's the 90s.
Yeah.
A phrase that Phil has never stopped using.
No, come on. It's the 90s.
That's, as we were talking about, when you're making out with a girl and maybe she's throwing up the stop sign for you and you say, baby, it's the 90s.
Right, exactly.
Get with the program.
Get
I
with
don't know
the
what-
plug.
I don't know what that means.
Do have to say, though, you know what March Madness is really known for more than anything else, Phil?
Pizza delivery.
No.
Good guess.
Okay.
Good guess.
Okay, I was close.
Good guess.
But, I mean, Phil should know it's one of his favorite things.
Oh, buzzer beaters.
It's
It's
beaters.
a buzzer beater time.
Yes.
That's true. That's
If you guys could
tons
just
of
tape
them.
all the buzzer beaters onto one VHS tape and then send it to me, I don't have to watch any games.
Tell you what, it's called One Shining Moment. It's a video they play every year,
At
and
the
that
end of
includes pretty much all of the buzzer beaters.
Which is
Really?
a really crappy song. I have
Throughout
never
history.
understood. Yeah.
I think it's because when whoever CBS first got the rights in the 80s, they played it, and so despite being a terrible song, and I also think there's a bunch of people who are not us who have a nostalgia for the song.
Yeah.
now.
Well, not me. I've never liked it.
I'm just going to mute it and watch the buzzer beater. Well, I can't mute it because I need to hear the buzzer.
Yeah.
How
Otherwise-
else would you know if it's being beaten?
That's true.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow update, watch update.
Tim Tebow update, watch update, brought to you by.
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth. Tim Tebow Act awaits vote in Alabama legislature.
Ooh.
Subheadline.
Is the Tim Tebow act that they're all not passing very well for that week?
No.
That's their act?
Nope.
Because, okay.
Nope. Subheadline. 7 years after completing his college career, Tebow still haunts Alabama.
One of the only things he's ever completed. Wow.
Joel is on fire today. Wow. Hold on. If Joel busted any of your guts at home, you can sue him. You can sue him for that.
The piece of legislation is entitled HB 503 and is often referred to as the Tim Tebow Act, not to be confused with Tim Tebow's Act, which is to pretend to be a good Christian boy while running a panda mill.
I believe it.
Laws similar to this Tim Tebow Act have been passed in 29 other states, and basically it allows homeschooled students to participate in their would-be high school's athletic programs.
Interesting.
So Tim Tebow let his
So
high
wait,
school...
You can be like the star high school quarterback and not even have to go to school? I
Yeah.
feel like that's unfair. You shouldn't get laid that much. You don't have to put in the requisite hours in class.
Well, Tim Tebow led his high school to a state championship his senior year while being homeschooled and taking an inordinate amount of theology electives.
Yeah.
I believe it.
This is also this is a gaping loophole. I imagine there's a lot of families down south that are saying, hey, the amount of passer training that we can get done over the course of the day if our child is quote-unquote homeschooled.
Well, see, that's the thing, is many educators are speaking out against the bill because teachers hate students having fun.
Yeah.
No,
Get off
no,
my
no.
back, Teach.
No, they believe homeschooled athletes could have an advantage. They say there certainly will be a different standard for students who are not here in the daily grind every day. Students are in class with their nose to the grindstone with very rigorous academic standards from 8:15 to 3:27 every day.
in a few places with higher and more rigorous academic standards than Alabama.
I was gonna say,
that's only what
opponents,
5.5 hours. And then you get a 45-minute lunch. That's nothing.
Tebow Bill supporters have pointed out that this is Alabama. So when did very rigorous academic standards have anything to do with athletics?
Yeah.
They also say that homeschool families pay taxes that fund the schools, like all other taxpayers, and their children have rights to equal access of athletic opportunities and the hidden curriculum.
Ooh, is it like the hidden
hidden
menu?
curriculum?
Well, that's often an argument against homeschools, as they say those students miss out on the hidden curriculum, which is like the social aspect of school.
Oh, so it's not like an animal-style curriculum.
No! This brings up an even more important topic. What's a worse education? A mom who is teaching creationism as fact and eschewing science, or the entirety of Alabama public schools?
I think it's the same. Don't you just go to school? It's just your mom up there talking about creationism?
It depends on the mom. I mean, if she's really good at math,
It's a
you're
trick
not doing
question.
so well on the science end, but you might still be.
No, it's a trick question. Rampant diabetes as a public health problem is worse. That's what's worse.
Oh, okay.
It was really freaky in Jumanji when the rampant diabetes came out. That's pretty freaky.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
What do we got on the show?
Well, very exciting. We have an interview with
We usually do.
Yeah, we almost always do. His name is Noel Worthington.
Noel Worthington?
Noel Worthington. I had to grab
scary.
the paper. Well, no, he just came out. He's an openly gay player in the Premier
forgive
League.
what I said. I didn't mean to say that then. I didn't mean scary.
Oh, yeah. If you think he's scary, that would make you
never
a
mind.
homophobe,
I'm
Phil.
I'm not.
In terms of the literal etymology.
Moving on.
Yeah. Either
Hey,
way,
Phil, we got a weird sportsman?
You're goddamn right we do.
I have some...
and we don't mean Noel. He's not a weird sportsman just because he's gay.
We'll see after the interview.
Yeah, and we'll have a verifiable true facts.
Ooh, I
Oh,
love
I
March
love the
Madness.
verifiable true facts.
Yeah.
And news.
News.
News on the Sports podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
News. Oscar Pistorius sells his house.
What? With all the memories?
But somebody died there.
Oh, and he's going to have to tell people about that.
Yeah.
Hope
be
you
like,
hope you like
Oh, you're that runner without legs. Oh, that one. Oh, okay. I don't know if I want the house now.
Hope you like handicapped accessible amenities, new homeowner.
Like handicap accessible guns.
Yeah. Oh, Oscar Pistorius, the apartheid apparatus, is selling the house where he killed Riva Steinkamp to raise money for his legal bills, which are staggering.
Yeah.
I believe it.
This is an improvement on his initial plan to raise money, which was a pancake breakfast. His attorney, in a moment of lawyer humor, convinced him that people wouldn't have the appetite for it.
I believe it.
Pistorius has not returned to the upscale villa since the day he shot his girlfriend in the bathroom over a year ago, and, quote, cannot contemplate ever returning to live there again, lawyer Brian Weber said, primarily because returning to the scene of the crime would make it clear to just about everyone that he was the murderer.
Right?
And it's not a manslaughter at all.
Yeah,
Only a
stay
murderer.
away. You gotta stay away.
Manslaughterers don't return to the scene of the crime.
That's true, but Manslaughterers is an awesome name for a really heavy metal band.
Death metal or something?
Manslaughterer.
Okay. Due to the sorry.
What? Manslaughterer.
So
It's
his
not just manslaughter, because
No,
that would be expected. But if you're a manslaughterer,
manslaughter. That was it. I want to go to that concert.
that'd be pretty good.
Oh man. Okay, so his house is valued at almost $500,000.
Ugh, if only.
The house is being sold by the estate agency of his longtime track coach, Ampy Lou, who was the first person.
I'm sorry, Ampy Lou?
Ampy Lowuw. Ampy Lou?
Was this like what he called him?
Or was
Did
it a
Ampy
member of
Lou
the
This
have
is
a
South
real
Africa. This
name?
is a different country, Joel. You're being a little xenophobic right now.
Yeah, Joel.
Ampy?
Do you find the name scary? Because then you're being xenophobic.
I find it funny.
The Ampy Lou first convinced a teenage Pistorius that he had a talent for running.
That must have been a hard sell.
Well, it's like, hey, you there with no legs. Now, I'm going to guess you've never tried this. But I think you would be outstanding at running.
I'm going to start saying that to everybody, so eventually I'll be right.
To which they said, what a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you run, you legless bastard?
Stop mocking that man.
No, he's my hero.
The Olympic runner was charged with premeditated murder after fatally shooting Steinkamp through a toilet cubicle door in an upstairs bathroom in the pre-dawn hours of February 14th last year. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, some people just knock, you know.
Hey, honey, you out of there? You done? Do you need any help? Have you fell in? Instead of back. Science news.
Woo! Wait, what? That doesn't fit with our format.
This is a sports program.
Tom Izzo is a healthy coach.
Oh, I agree with that.
Despite having the misfortune of being born without a neck, the 59-year-old head coach of Michigan State has accomplished more than most people who have necks, including a national championship, multiple Final Four trips, and he's ran a couple of marathons.
Wow.
Pretty healthy dude. During a recent home game at against Illinois, Izzo had his vital signs monitored as part of a Dateline ESPN Sports Science special.
I missed that.
Now, Izzo has said he never had any major health issues, but doctors say his high-stress job could make him more susceptible to health problems.
Sure.
His vital signs were monitored courtside throughout the game from a laptop with Duke University Medical Center stress expert Redford Williams, a doctor from basketball powerhouse Duke, monitoring Tom Izzo's vital signs.
Nobody at Michigan State would be
this?
smart enough to be able to run that machine. So
Okay.
it's true, though. You need someone from a smart school like Duke.
It isn't a Dateline special at all. It's an insidious plot by Coach K to kill Tom Izzo and have basketball supremacy all to himself.
That son of a bitch.
Do you know where you are, Tom? Why, you're in my basketball dungeon. Above the basket is a shot clock, ticking down your life.
We're a basketball dungeon.
Basketball dungeon. Before the game, Izzo had a resting respiratory rate of 14 breaths per minute and a heart rate of 68 beats per minute.
Woo, for a 59-year-old?
Yeah, he's ran a couple marathons. He's in
Beats
good
by
shape.
Dre.
No, it's Soul by Ludacris.
Ah.
As the game was ready to start, Izzo's breathing rate rose to 36 breaths per minute, and his heart rate went up to 97 beats per minute.
Man.
Then, when Illinois scored the first basket of the game, Izzo's heart rate immediately spiked to 120.
Whoa.
120. He's down by 2 points. It's the first basket of the game.
He's a high-strung fella.
Yeah. The
This
data.
is surprising to no one who has watched Tom Izzo coach over the last 12 years.
Just 9 minutes into the game, Michigan State was down by 12 points. Izzo's heart rate stayed at 120 beats per minute, and his core body temperature approached 100 degrees.
Whoa.
At their peak, Izzo's vitals showed his heart rate had spiked to 135 beats per minute, and his body temperature was at 100 degrees. But as it became clear in the second half that the Illinois' lead was too much for Michigan State, sensors showed Izzo's heart rate and body temperature start to drop, almost as if his body was conceding defeat.
Wow.
Which sounds really fucking morbid.
Yeah.
His body decided it was time to
Can I
die.
ask you one question? When
Yeah.
they were hooked up and listening to Tom Izzo's heart, could they hear the angels?
No.
Did those come through?
Not this
Okay.
time. Not
All
this
right.
time. With a minute 06 left and the game out of reach, Izzo's heart rate had dropped back down to the 90s. However, his post-game cocaine bump got it back up to 120, and he fucking partied all fucking night.
There
We're
we
never
go.
gonna die!
Yeah, YOLO.
We're gonna live forever!
Yeah.
Not if I have anything to say about it, Tom. I don't know. That's my Coach K.
That's your Coach K?
Yeah.
That works. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
When Izzo reviewed the results, which showed that even when he was sitting on the sideline, his heart rate was working at 70% of its max, he was surprised at how his body reacted.
Is he just a big fatty?
No.
He's in really good shape.
he's
Just
a short
really
guy.
intense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's very animated. Stays on. He often wanders onto the court, which is usually where players go.
Right, you don't do that. That's
Yeah.
Well, the poor guy. Stuffed into a suit with a body temperature of 100 degrees?
Major League Soccer referees agree to new CBA and lockout.
Wait.
Hey, guys. Did you guys know Major League Soccer refs were locked out?
No.
Because they totally were.
Did we know that Major League, they have a CBA? I assumed it was like you walked around the parking lot, 30 minutes prior to the game, like, who wants to make $50? And those are the people who officiated soccer games.
Yeah, I've never
Well, it was that way as recently as 2010.
Oh.
As recently as 4 years ago. But since then.
They got uppity.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. The Professional Referee Organization, which manages game officials for the U.S. Soccer Federation and the MLS, announced an agreement on Thursday. The lockout began on March 7th, a day ahead of MLS openers, and I'm sure that was reported somewhere.
Had to be.
I missed that.
Replacements had to be used for the first 2 weekends of MLS games, which resulted in some stuff, I guess.
They probably said, "Wait, here's a yellow card," and they're like, "It's supposed to be a red card."
I remember actually there was that huge national outrage over the lack of quality officiating in MLS. Like, it was all over the news. Everybody was talking about that. There was just rage palpable. Were those the people picketing in the streets that I remember?
I think you might be thinking of the transit thing in Rio de Janeiro, but
right.
I don't know.
One of those things.
Major negotiating points were payment, compensation insurance in case of injury, performance and valuations, travel standards, and whether the soul-crushing boredom of soccer necessitated hazard pay.
Make it should. I'd like to see what their heart rate was at.
Yeah.
Bump. Bump.
Once the game started, it declined.
We noticed the heart visibly tapping out in Morse code. I'm bored. Oh, God, please help me.
They went to a hibernation phase for a little while.
Yeah, quick question. The benefits in case of injury, did that include fake injuries?
Ooh, I did not read the language
Always
of the contract. I would hope
soccer,
so.
Yeah.
The two sides filed charges with the National Labor Relations Board, accusing the other side in engaging in unfair labor practices. When they called them, though, the phone tree said, "If you are the NFL, press 1. If you are another union, please leave your name and number at the tone-in whatever. Bye." So you can see it just was not a priority there.
Yeah. I love recorded messages that end with "or whatever."
And then bye.
Joining us now in the studio is Premier League soccer player Noel Worthington.
Ole, 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 ole. Oh, what's going on there, mates?
How's it going?
Yeah, that's right. You're here with the only openly gay player to ever grace the Premier Football League. Woo!
Absolutely. You play for Chelsea?
I play Chelsea, boy. I'm a Chelsea boy. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of good gay stuff happening in Chelsea.
Is that so?
A lot of good gay stuff.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Glad to know that you were out and that you were proud. And
what's really more important, though, is that I have done this for me and all gay people. I'm like Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
The first one to say, no, I'm not going to go to the back of the bus back there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit at the front of the bus.
Okay, I absolutely am with you.
Breaking down barriers.
I hate to quibble though, but you're actually not the first openly gay Premier player ever.
Oh, what's that?
No, you're not. It was Justin. Hang on, I'm looking. It's Justin Fashanu. He came out in 1990. And he played for.
It was right prior to his retirement, I believe.
Yeah. And he actually committed suicide in retirement. It was quite tragic. Yeah. And there's been a couple of players who came out immediately after
retirement.
Really?
A couple?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, to be honest, the only reason why I played soccer is because I wanted to be the first openly gay professional player.
That makes more sense than the reasons other people play soccer for. So, all right. Well,
you know what? New lease on life.
Yeah. Well, hey, no, you're still the only.
Nope, I'm retired.
Wait, what?
Just retired.
But you were the only openly gay.
Nope. If it's already been done before, I don't want it. I'm out fighting for all my gay brothers. Ole, ole,
so you're a trailblazer.
Yeah, I'm going to be a trailblazer.
What's your next move?
You know what? This has been something that I've been wanting to do for a little while, so I'm glad that I get to do it. I'm going to be the first openly gay male diver. That's right. I'm going to put on a Speedo, and I'm going to do flips, and I'm going to jump into a pool, and I'll be the first one to say I'm doing it for the gays.
So just, First of all, I'm a little surprised that you think you can transition to being a professional diver that quickly.
Nah, it's all the same.
I mean, you're an athletic-looking guy,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
diving.
Thank you.
Totally different
You coming
skill set.
on to me?
Not
there
nope. But
it
totally
is.
different skill set than soccer.
Yeah. Also, you wouldn't be the first openly gay diver.
What's that?
Yeah, there've been others. Well, I mean, Greg Lougain is obviously famously a diver. I don't think he was open during his career, but he trailblazed that to the point where there's any number of different.
No, I see what
divers
you're saying.
now
You're saying
who are
I should pick a
quite
straighter
comfortable with
sport.
their-
The
Okay.
Maybe-
straighter sport.
maybe that'd
okay.
be a way to
Because
go.
I know that football and basketball are already taken.
Yep, Jason Collins and well, Michael Sam, not technically in the NFL yet, but bound to be.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, then you know what? I'm going to go for a deeper cut.
Okay.
I am going to be the first openly gay ice dancer. That's right. I'm going to go dance on the ice and be the first doing it for the gay people. No longer will straight people own ice dancing.
Really couldn't have picked a worse
Couldn't
one.
have picked a worse
actually, this one, this sport actually has a celebrated history.
Yeah.
I would say of openly gay.
I'd almost argue it's close to like 50-50 over
What's
the
that?
years. Yeah.
You know what? I'm starting to think that maybe sport isn't the way that I should be breaking down barriers.
Well,
I mean, there's
however
plenty of
you feel
sports.
comfortable breaking down barriers.
No, you know what? You know what? I quit as an athlete. Now I'm going to be the first gay male hairdresser. That's right, the first gay male hairdresser. I'm going to go and I'm going to cut women's hair like all straight men have done historically so that they can touch on women's hair and hit on them. Not me.
Is
Not me. I'm going to be doing it for the love of hairdressing.
Again, I feel like a statistically significant portion
Wait, what's that?
of hairdressers.
Did I say hairdresser? I meant runway fashion designer. I'll be the first gay.
I
once
don't
again.
really think that you got your head in the
All
game.
right, well,
on
I'll
this
be
one.
the first gay shopper at Restoration Hardware.
No.
That's right. First.
No. Listen,
right.
hey,
Oh.
Noel.
You know what? I'll be the first gay person to move to your West Hollywood in Los Angeles.
That is
That's
also really
All
not.
right, I'll
you're,
be the first gay.
you're getting colder.
Be the
You're getting
fir-
colder.
I'll be the first gay musical. I'll be the
Nope,
musical
nope,
theater
nope,
guy.
no.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll
once
be,
you said musical, you
no,
were pretty
I'll be
much
the
gonna
first
miss.
first gay
No.
piano player named Elton John.
No.
I'm gonna
doesn't
change
make
my
any
name to
sense.
Elton John. No.
No.
All right, I'll be the
You
first
literally
gay
picked-
man to kiss another man.
That's
Be
like the
first gay-
definition of
The-
gay men for the most
You
part.
telling
Listen,
me I'm never gonna be Rosa Parks?
no, I mean you can be Rosa Parks in your own way. You can be your own
I feel like
Rosa
I'm not
Parks.
the first in anything, and it's not special anymore.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said that so many of these barriers have already been crossed in our society. It's kind of a thrilling time
I
to
just
be a
want to be able
homosexual
to
man.
fight for gay people, you know.
You still can if you were the only Premier League athlete who was gay. That'd be something, right?
No, this is what I'm gonna do. You're absolutely right, but you're absolutely right. I'm gonna rejoin my position, and I'm going to be the first closeted gay person in the English Premier League.
That's-
ole, ole,
it's
ole,
not
not
gonna-
gay, not gay, ole. That's right. I'm in the closet. I'm the first one.
no, I feel like we took a step backwards
I'm
here,
doing
and we
this
did it for the
all
wrong
closeted
reasons.
Gay people.
There's been at least a couple who came out after
I'm Rosa
retirement.
Parks, and they're telling me to go to
No.
the back of the bus, and I'm answering, I'm not black.
No,
Noel.
I feel,
Noel.
no, Noel.
Yeah.
No, but I think
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're getting taking a step back here.
Yeah, you're getting further and further from where you want to be.
You want to be a trailblazer,
Yeah,
right?
you get that.
You want to be the first. You want to be
But I
special.
see what
but
you're
not
saying.
a Portland trailblazer because that would not be done trailblazing.
What you're trying to say is that gay people have already infiltrated their way into everything.
I don't know if
I
I
wouldn't
would
use the word
infiltrated.
infiltrated.
I know what I'm going to be the first white person to ever play water polo.
That's God. How do you?
You really don't watch a lot of sports, do you?
Yeah.
No, not really. I've been kind of training to play professional footy for my entire life.
Well. Hey, tell you what, Noel. Why don't we let you go here? Sounds like you got some stuff to work out.
Yeah.
Just know that we're all real proud of you for taking
Yeah.
the step
No,
that
thank
did.
you. I'm now going to go cross out everything on my list to be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
There's a Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh crap! I let the conspiracy out.
Boy, he took off quick.
Verifiable true facts.
Like trivia, but not fun. Brought to you by...
Ritz crackers, edible.
Factually correct. That is
a
I like that
verifiable true fact.
yeah,
it is.
edible.
Yeah.
I would go as far to say delicious.
Ooh, I don't know.
Makes a great snack. Put a
They
little
would.
PB on it.
Yeah, a little
bland
J
for
maybe?
me. They're salty and they're buttery, but I feel like I want salty.
What do you
and
mean? Those are
buttery.
two of the best flavors.
It is, but I always
Yeah.
like it in tandem with something. Salty and buttery and garlicky. Salty and buttery and
What are you doing?
He's got a complex palate.
herby.
You know what? There's a whole new subgenre of Triscuits for people like you with
Yeah.
weirdo
Brown
flavors.
rice and salsa.
Yeah. For people who just don't like butter and salt, which are great.
No,
Two of the
I
best
like
things.
butter and salt. I just need something else.
The players on undefeated Missouri Valley Conference champion Wichita State all have chips on their shoulders that are so large, Stefania Bell has reported the team will require a visit to Dr. James Andrews.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's never a good sign.
I don't get it.
Bracketologists the world over were baffled by Louisville being a 4 seed, almost as baffled as the selection committee was about there being bracketologists the world over. California State Polytechnic University, located in San Luis Obispo, is in the tournament for the first time in school history.
Whoa.
Congratulations.
They are not to be confused with California State Polytechnic University satellite campus in Pomona, who played Division II.
Yeah.
And
Fuck Pomona.
And while they have won the D2 championship, they ain't ever been to the big dance. So suck it, Cal Poly Pomona. The Mercer University Bears had more fans in their history on Friday during the 2 hours that they played Duke. However, their record for the largest spontaneous additions to a fan base was broken later that afternoon by the ballooning of Eastern Kentucky's fan base as they played Kansas. This time of year, a lot of people are seeing colleges they didn't know existed. Well, when the University of Hawaii Warriors made their first appearance in the NCAA tournament in 1972, most Americans were not aware the state of Hawaii existed.
Wow.
Now people go, oh, I ain't never heard of Berry College.
Yeah.
People then were going, University of Hawaii, what is that?
Wait,
only
that's
been a
been
state
verified?
like-
that was a verifiable true fact?
These are all verifiable
Okay, just
true
making
facts.
sure.
Yeah.
You don't think Jordan just pulls these out of his ass or something?
No, I want to make sure.
No,
I'm just
Jordan does
double-checking.
the research.
I nitty gritty.
Yeah.
I spot check sometimes. I want to make sure.
Okay. And yes, there are a lot of colleges participating that you didn't know existed. But guess what? They didn't know you exist, and they've led a very fulfilling life thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good point.
They all know I exist.
The term bracket buster originated in the porn industry and meant something entirely different.
Ooh.
Showing the shifting American views toward hospice care, 90% of brackets this year have do not resuscitate orders. That is up from 65% in 2000.
Yeah, I
Wow.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember my 2004
Terry
bracket.
Schiavo and post Terry Schiavo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
Mine
bracket.
in
Right, under
2004
bracket.
held on for so long, and it was just so tragic. And you're watching the Final Four and just going, why?
Why?
Just let it go.
And so much pain.
Yeah.
So much pain. The guy who won Warren Buffett's billion-dollar bracket is Dan Gilbert, the CEO of Quicken Loans, who has already bundled and sold subpar entries as bracket-backed securities.
Yeah, not my America.
Verifiable true facts.
Verifiable true facts. Like trivia, but not fun. Brought to you by...
Ritz crackers, yellowish. For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sportsman! Weird Sportsman.
Who do we got today?
This week's Weird Sportsman, Bill Lee.
Oh, Bill Spaceman Lee.
Ooh.
Not to be confused with Billy, which is just one name. This is two names. Bill Lee.
No, I got it.
I'd never thought of it that way before.
Yeah,
That's probably why he
should've.
had the nickname, is because he felt the need to separate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a friend growing up whose name was Rob Burt. Last name Burt, first name Rob.
That must
What
have been
were his
horrid.
parents thinking?
Robert Burt. That was his name.
What was his middle name? Please tell me it was Rob.
I
So
don't
it was
know.
Robert Rob
How am
Burt.
I supposed to remember the middle name of somebody who I went to school
There
with?
was a kid growing up. Me went to school. His first name was Chris. His last name was Chris Falusi. So his name was Chris Falusi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we had somebody we went to college with named Chris Sant.
Oh, I remember him.
First name Chris, last name Sant.
I went to high
Chris
school.
Sant.
I went to high school.
Oh, I that took me a
I
second.
went to high school with a kid whose name was Thomas Peter Claire Scott Craig.
Wow.
He had 5 first names.
That's crazy.
That's weird because that's my name too. And whenever I go out, the people always shout.
Thomas Peter Claire Scott Craig.
Bill Lee! William Francis Lee III, born December 28th, 1946, nicknamed Spaceman, is a American former Major League Baseball pitcher. He played for the Boston Red Sox from 1969 to 1978 and the Montreal Expos from 1979 to 1982.
Comeback.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. On November 7th, 2008, Lee was inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame as the team's record holder for the most games pitched by a left-hander.
I guess they're just letting anybody
Yeah.
in now.
Yeah, I guess they just have a
I
Hall
guess-
of Fame for everything.
Guess they have not had a lot of dominant left-handed pitchers.
Everyone gets a trophy.
He was also the third highest win total at 94 by a Red Sox southpaw.
Most games started, third highest wins.
Yeah.
For a lefty.
Yeah.
On August 23rd, 2012, Lee signed a contract to play with the San Rafael Pacifics of the Independent North American League at age 65.
Wozers.
Yeah, so he's still strong. In addition to his baseball experience, Lee is known for his counterculture behavior, his antics both on and off the field, and his use of the Leafus pitch, a personalized variation of the Ephus pitch.
Love the Ephus pitch.
What is the Ephus pitch?
They throw this ball. It goes like really high and it arcs and it goes really slow, and people can't hit it because they're just accustomed to seeing everything pitch really fast, and it comes in like so slow that they're just like, wait, what? It's like a lob, like a slow pitch softball pitch.
Almost like a Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
Oh, that must be tough to keep it in the air.
kind of. Yeah, it's tricky. I once saw Orlando Hernandez throw 2 of them to Alex Rodriguez in the same at bat, and guess what? The second one got creamed.
I would think that
A
would be
pitch
the
you
danger.
can only really pull out every once in a while.
Yeah, that would be the danger, is that you're also throwing them a very slow
If
ball.
they know it's coming, it's going for a home run.
So what makes this guy a weird sportsman, Phil?
Because Lee has co-written 4 books.
Yeah.
So is Jim Bouton.
Ken Dryden.
His books are called The Wrong Stuff, Have Glove Will Travel, The Little Red Sox Book, A Revisionist Red Sox History, and Baseball Eccentrics, the most entertaining, outrageous, and unforgettable characters in the game.
Wasn't that 5 books?
Probably featured. No, The Wrong Stuff, Have Glove Will Travel is all one name.
Oh, right. Okay.
In 2006, the acclaimed documentary film by Brett Rapkin, Spaceman, A Baseball Odyssey, featured Lee.
Did it?
Probably about
So
him.
tell me some weird stuff, Phil.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Biography, Major League career, later Red Sox career, Montreal Expos, reputation and controversy. Lee's personality earned him popularity as well as the nickname Spaceman, a nickname given to him by former Red Sox infielder John Kennedy. His outspoken manner and unfiltered comments were frequently recorded in the press.
Oh.
Lee spoke in defense of Maoist China, population control, Greenpeace, and school busing in Boston, amongst other things.
Oh.
Again, still not that weird. I mean, expressing your opinions, not.
Pro Maoist China could certainly be used. It's been in the 60s.
Yeah, but come on, give me some real weird stuff. Give me something
All
meaty.
right, here's something meaty. Speaking of meat, he berated an umpire for a controversial call in the 1975 World Series, threatening to bite off his ear.
That's
He
weird.
then later commented, "I would have Van Gogh'd him," which is a phrase we should all really be using more. Better watch your back or I'm going to Van Gogh you.
Oh, not me. I like my ears.
Your ear's gonna be Van Gunn.
Yep.
Nope.
I'm gonna go at it like a Van Goat.
He Van Goat?
No, Joel, no.
Goats eat lots of random
Oh, Joel. And encouraging the American people to write letters demanding the game be replayed.
Wow.
Yep. It didn't end up happening. Didn't
No,
win that.
what you
Didn't win
don't
that
say?
battle.
They didn't replay a game in the 75 World Series?
Yeah. Go figure. He claimed his marijuana use made him impervious to bus fumes while jogging to work at Fenway Park.
So he was open about his marijuana use while pitching in baseball.
Well, it also he thought it gave him superpowers, which I would
Because
say
I
is the
smoked the
weirdest part.
marijuana, I'm not getting particulate matter from diesel fuels.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
His propensity to criticize management led to his being dropped from both the Red Sox and the Expos at the end of his professional career in 1982. So, yeah.
that's the year I was born.
Yes, me too. We're
Oh,
both
that's right.
old people.
I'm older than Phil.
Yes, he is. In 1988, he and his second wife, Pamela, announced plans to move to Burlington, Vermont. In 1987, he had announced plans to run for president of the United States for the Rhinoceros Party, which necessitated the move. He moved so he could do this. He was putting his money where his mouth is.
Well, you are going to dominate that rhinoceros vote.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the Rhinoceros Party has a lot of competition. Probably also what they don't have is a lot of people actually elected. Rhinoceros Party.
No, let's go. Let's see. Of the 43 people who've been president, how many have been from the Rhinoceros Party?
God, one at the most.
Yeah.
At the most.
At the most. And that's why that brings an end to another Weird Sportsman! Oh, if you want to be president, you're sure going to get on this list!
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings to the close of a sports podcast. But before we go, Phil would like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching sports podcast, your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at stitcher.com and search sports podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/comedypodnet. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. While you're there, please subscribe. You can find us on iTunes by searching sports 3 space podcast. That's sports 3, all one word, space podcast. Or for all of our back episodes, go to comedypodcastnetwork.com.
Guys, I had Noel come back in for just a second. I did think of one thing that he could be the first openly gay person to do.
What would that be?
Our signature sign-off. Noel?
Lights off!
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.